Hello Cap.
Good morning, Piotr. Good morning, everybody else as well. Hello, hello, and welcome. Nice to see you guys again. I am happy to be here, man. When I don't fly on a Saturday, it feels like I lose a lot of information and bits and pieces of my life. So anyway, good morning, Geert. Lekker, man. Goed om jou te sien. Right, so we're at Porto. Let me go online. This thing works, and you go. So it's obviously raining a little bit. I just want to refresh my active sky and make sure this thing actually puts the proper weather in here. Right. And I know Laurie's already in the sky, so we look like we have 8 people here. That's Uncle John passing by me, or about to pass by me there. And I need to get going, otherwise I'm probably going to be the last one out the gate here again. Archibald, good morning, welcome. Let's set up everything that we need. Bye-bye, Uncle John. Safe flight. I'm not sure if he's watching my stream. I doubt it, but anyway.
Round to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Right. And I'm flying my beta version of Explain again because my other one's broken, so just need to make sure I've got all the correct details and stuff before I go too far. Yep, there we go.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
Right. Sitting up just takes a little bit of time, you guys know that, so feel free, guys. You're welcome to chat there on stream. You're welcome to join me here in Discord as well, but just keeping my head down for a short while just to make sure I set everything up, eh? So we're flying from Porto to Jerez, or at least that's how you spell it in English. I'm not sure if they pronounce it differently. Usually the J gets pronounced differently. Not at all sure how they pronounce it there in Spain, but we're going there.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Morning, August Pines. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. Alright, that's not where we want to be. We want to step through still. I went on my tangent to the overhead. And so I'll go around. Seems fairly straightforward. Yeah. Right.
Porto traffic Skymatix 078, taxiing to holding point 1.17 via Sierra Echo.
Got the sequence wrong there a little bit.
Skymatix 028. Lining up, runway 17, holding short.
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
Hello, Christopher. Good morning. Yeah, it's nice to be back on this Saturday. It's a lovely day here, sun shining. It's warm, but it's not that hot. We can see it's autumn or fall for the guys in the US. And the leaves are starting to fall off the trees, and so pretty soon. It usually starts by the end of March, beginning April, then the first colds come, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But a lovely day today.
Flaps up and set.
Almost ready. How are you doing, Uncle John?
I'm alright, how's you?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Nice to be flying again on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have an empty house this morning.
No, managed. I started work early this morning, and I've fixed up 2 servers already, and I'm kind of chuffed with myself. Did a good job early.
Sadly, Larry's in a meeting, so he's had to start the flight. He's paused it. We'll continue when he gets back.
Yeah, but if he's on IVA, he might get a problem. He must just not be on IVA. I hope he's not.
I hope he's not.
Hello, Alex. Yes,
Oh,
sorry.
look,
Okay. Enjoy, Alex. Alright, 85%. Getting there.
no, he's gone off.
Okay. Morning, Christer. Oh, morning, Wycliffe. I missed you there. Sorry about that. No rain, which is a bonus. Yeah. You guys had a fair share of rain there, eh? Right, 100%.
Trim up.
Take off,
Skymatix
trim.
028, taking off runway 17.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all calls, thank you.
Ground to cockpit. Stow is driving up.
Before start procedure.
Before start procedure. Before start procedure complete.
Thank you, Linda.
Ready for before start checklist.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Skymatix 028, airborne, passing 1,700.
Porto Porto traffic, Skymatix 078, lining up and wait runway 17.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Good morning, Skymatix 563 and gate Sierra T2 pushing back and start.
That sounds nice, Christopher. Yeah, I've not had the pleasure of flying on a Max yet. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I looked at the ticket prices from Joburg to Cape Town and back the other day. I've mentioned it here on the stream. It's getting unaffordable. It's just getting ridiculous. Yeah, Wycliffe, I've given up wondering about the people, promise.
Runway 17.
Just when you think people can't be more rude, bad, obnoxious, you know, at least somebody comes along and then they brighten up your day again, and then your faith in humanity gets restored, and then the very next guy comes and he just plows you into the ground, and you think to yourself, oh man, really? I promise you, being, you know, in the public eye has taught me to grow a very thick skin. In the beginning, it used to really hurt me. It was bad. If it wasn't for Uncle John and some of the guys here, I would have given up, I promise. Because some people, they just don't care, and they bite, they hurt, man. So anyway, got a nice thick skin now. I'm feeling better about it, and no, I just laughed him off. Let's go. Porto traffic, Skymatix 001, push and start. Oh, I didn't start my APU yet. Sorry, guys. Sorry, gents, my APU needs to start. I'll be another 30 seconds before I push. The best guy to speak to is probably going to be somebody like Twixter, but I promise you, Christer, there are a lot of other guys using that thing. You know, so just make your posts in all the groups and wherever, and I'm pretty sure you'll find somebody really useful that can help you with that one. Yeah, Twixter uses that. Twixter builds the flight model with a Boeing yoke at this time, you know, so yeah, you'll be in good hands. Before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
Starting pushback. You may start the engine.
Hey, Cavalcade Simulation. I'm good, and I'm happy to be back, eh? It's nice to be in my normal position again for a while. Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Are you okay, Gav? Okay, are you all right there? She's got to look the part, Christopher.
and 2.
And fuel goes in. Hello JP, hello Kies.
Goedemorgen.
In the place that I won on the lottery last night, Nico.
Is it £3.50 again?
Starter cutout.
190 rand, so I paid it off the mortgage on the castle.
Okay, all right, excellent, excellent. Well done, sir. Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Good luck with your exams, Gav, okay?
and 2. Starter cutout. Engine start procedure complete.
I'm going to quickly just help you with the rest and then we don't have to waste time. That's all set.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Yeah, you'll have to check on Discord for the change logs and stuff, you know, in the updates when I publish it. A couple of small things have changed, not major great things, big
Ready
things.
For before taxi procedure.
In the description below the video is the latest change log. It's a little one-liner. It is there. You can have a look. Right, I think I got it. We've got that. Taxi lights can come on. Flaps 5 green. And we've tested the controls. We can hide them. Walking brake off. 6-pack.
Morning, everyone.
Brake test. Good morning. How are you, Tommy?
Fine, I hope you too.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that picture in the VA room. That's a nice picture.
Oh, thank you very much.
Porto traffic, Skymatix 001, taxi holding point, runway 17. Yeah, that's a nice challenge in itself, hey, Wycliffe. I hope you enjoy it. I don't own it. I'm so busy with the Zibo. I've given up on buying and getting more aircraft and stuff. I just don't have the time anymore.
Yes, it's the same for me. Only fly Zibo today.
Yeah. This relearning of the aircraft is something that always gets me, you know.
The TBM that Toto brought out. I used to love flying that. If you put me in that thing right now, I'll blow up the engine. I can't remember how to fly that thing. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. So I just stick to what I know, and here we go, you know. I know this one best, and, you know, busy with it, so.
Yeah, well, I got the 747, well, when it first came out, I got it on review.
Okay.
And I learned it, no problem at all. Learned the startup and flew it, and
Cool.
and then I started flying Airbus, and then I went on to the Zibo. I've been flying the Zibo for over a year now.
Yeah, and you see, if you don't use it, you lose it. You know that old saying? It's very true. If you don't use it, you lose it. And then it comes back down to retraining.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got my startup procedure written out in my inimitable style, and I'm going to relearn that
Excellent.
today.
Excellent.
Whilst watching you, of course, and see how well you do.
Yeah, excellent.
My wife has just gone out to the gym, so at least I've got an hour of uninterrupted learning.
Nice. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, my wife has left to go fetch her mom, and then they go gallivanting into the shops and everything, and then probably 3 p.m. they back. So I'm also quite kind of free right now. It helps. It really helps. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure.
Your sim is looking really smooth on Discord.
That's Uncle John's. No, that's Uncle John's. Let me quickly put mine on anyway. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot to switch it on. Sorry, guys.
Alright, so Uncle John, your sim is looking really smooth on Discord.
Ready for before takeoff checklist.
Thank you.
Right, that's all in place. Weather can come on. That's on. Everything's done. APU can come off. Don't know why I forgot to switch it off, but there we go. So I think we've got everything. Porto traffic, Skymatix 001 taking off runway 17.
Approaching 17.
Stabilized.
Good morning from Sweden, Nico.
Good morning. How are you? Doga.
Perfect.
Good.
Takeoff thrust set.
Doga, gentlemen, for your timers.
Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
You know what, I've just realized I might not have set my controllers up correctly in this version of my X-Plane. Damn it.
Acceleration altitude. Flaps 1 set. Flaps 1 set. Transition level. Ready for approach checklist. Flaps up and set. Approaching transition.
Nico?
Yes.
I want to ask a thing. I don't know if you can answer this, but I will give it a try. Anyway, have you talked to Twixter about how close X-Plane's simulation is if he used the real values as possible with everything?
We've discussed it a couple of times. It's not an easy answer because in a lot of instances it's going to be related to the version of X-Plane that you have, because they obviously update their flight models and stuff, and then anything that influences him he needs to compensate for so that he gets the better solution for the Zibomod, because that's his responsibility. But I haven't spoken to him lately about it, Jacob, not in the last month at least, or 2 months maybe even. I haven't spoken to him about that particular thing. And I know that they are talking behind the scenes about some more flight model updates coming for X-Plane, and Twixter is busy tweaking again for something specific. So the best guy to ask that's going to be him. When he comes back online, you can ask him.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah,
because
did
you Sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask, did you watch his last video that he put here in Discord? Did you see that last one from last week?
No, I only look at your videos.
Okay, do yourself a favor, just go down to the bottom there into the, I think it's under training. There's a Twixter room that I made for him. He's putting his videos in there. Go have a look there. Maybe he answers some of your questions there. Check the video.
I will check.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches off.
I have to do that after your flight.
Of course.
If I click on that, it will kick me out of your screen.
Yeah, I understand. But now that you know it's there, go have a look, because I can virtually guarantee he's going to answer some of your questions there. I mean, he's got a different style of presenting than I have, and obviously, he speaks from his development point of view as well, so.
The reason I ask a little is because, I always strive after the best aerodynamics, if you will.
Yeah.
And, X-Plane has always said that they had very good aerodynamics. And as I've been flying planes for real, many of my pilot friends and I think that X-Plane feels more realistic. It's very hard to describe, but feels more realistic. But it would be nice to actually have the math on. Yeah, it's better in this and this and this way.
Yeah, get it. I get it. The best guy to ask is going to be Twixter. Because I have access to his YouTube channel and stuff. Obviously you can ask on the Zibo forum, but if it's something pertaining to a video or something that you pick up, you can always ask in the comments below the video. See what he says.
Is he as nice as you are?
Oh yes. Yes. You will like him, but when you speak to him, you need to have at least 2 or 3 hours available, because when he starts talking and he gets into the nitty-gritty of things, he doesn't stop easily. Okay,
Oh, he sounds like my favorite guy then.
Exactly. No, you'll get along famously. And I mean, you can listen to some of the videos on my YouTube channel where he's been here with us. He loves to explain things and he loves to go into much detail and stuff. You know, he's very, very unique and he's got a very, very good personality. I love him. I love him to bits because, I mean, sometimes he does talk about things that goes over my head, I must be honest. Sorry, Twixter. But it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. And then, you know, he's very passionate, and that's a really good thing to have with, you know, somebody like that. He's in the real world, he's just had to do his recurrency training certification thing and everything, so that's why he was a bit quiet. You know, he flies the Falcon, I think 900 in real world at this point in time as a corporate pilot, so you know, that kept him a little bit busy. And he said, you know, while he was doing that, he was tinkering with the FM and stuff, so we can expect an FM update pretty soon.
Does he happen to be called Tim?
Yes, Tim Saunders. His real name is still Tim Saunders.
Then I have talked to him.
Yeah.
At that time, he wasn't really that nice, to be honest.
We all have bad days, man. We all have bad days. What you need to do, listen. Let's talk about this after the stream, okay? Don't want to get personal on stream, you know, especially that is not here. No. So let's talk about it off stream. What you need to do, let me just give you a tip, okay? It's like I've told you about Zibo and, you know, the way we work and all these things. You sometimes are a little bit overbearing, right? And one of the things that is you know, something that we appreciate is when you rather come with a question than with, you know, look at this is wrong, kind of an attitude, kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah, I understand.
So, you know, it's about cultural differences, personalities, language differences, all these things, and we just need to learn to work with each other. I'm pretty sure, you know, just like you and I made friends, and I consider you a friend now, all right? You and I have had some terrible differences in the beginning as well, you know, Jacob. And
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I'm not going to remind you then. So the fact of the matter is, you know, we all get a bad day, but at the end of the day, I can vouch for him. He's a really good guy. You'll love him to bits when you get to know him.
The thing that I don't like is when someone say that this is like this is like this because I'm a pilot, or this is like this because it just is. If you can't calculate it, if you can't, you know, I think I've told you that both my parents were
Yes.
doctors.
Yes.
And one almost got Nobel Prize. So and I always questioned them. And I knew when they didn't know the answer. I knew when I was because they didn't have the answers.
I know. Look, we all have that, and we all have limits to what we know and all. But at the end of the day, you're right. The guys doing the development have got access to tables. They've got access to calculations. They've got access to this, that, and the other. Okay. The thing is, sometimes it doesn't help to put pressure on them, and you just give them a little freeway, just a day or two, then come back and you'll get a different answer, kind of a thing. So you've got to just be careful how you approach people, how you talk to people, because at the end of the day, like I say, you know it, we all get bad days. We all have bad days, man. You know what, Jacob, I've had it where 5 minutes before a stream, some asshole would come and he would ruin my day completely on Facebook or somewhere else, okay? And I mean, you can pick it up in my voice. You can pick it up. I don't hide things like that easy. I struggle to hide it. You can see when I'm upset. You can hear when I'm upset, kind of a thing, you know. And then we've just got to work through it, and that's where mercy and grace comes in. Love, mercy, and grace, you know. So at the end of the day, we all want the mathematics. We all want this thing to compute. We want the balance sheet. We want to know that, you know, if the left wing becomes lighter, it will lift up versus the heavier right wing, kind of a thing, you know. And now you can do the math about that. we all want that, but sometimes people are just not in the right frame of mind. It's the easiest way of describing it, you know. And we're all human after all. And I mean, look at me. My father passed away on the 12th of February. It's taken a hell of a long time for me to get my mind back in order, to just get back to where I am right now. And when you deal with people, you always have that humanity thing to think about. You know, we sometimes struggle. So my best.
Yeah, the problem for me is that I often discover after I said something that was probably not the best way to express it.
Well, exactly.
And
but you see,
it's a curse for me. I agree with that.
Yeah. So, you know, just to end the topic, basically, you know, you'll see when you get to learn to know someone, they're different to the perception. You know, that judging a book by its cover thing has bitten me a lot in my life, you know, and at some point in time you've got to realize, you know, try again the next day. And I promise you, in most cases, you'll get a totally different personality that you deal with, you know, so you'll see.
Anyway, do you know if he can calculate the advanced aerodynamic formulas for things? Do you know if he can know how to do that?
I've never asked him, but with his kind of background and knowledge, I cannot see why not. I'm pretty sure he should be able to.
I think that is demanded by being a pilot. You have to be able to calculate.
Well, he's got like 30,000 hours, so you go do the math. You understand what I'm saying? It's something that you can ask him. I mean, when I speak to him, I don't care about asking him about his qualifications. You know, I mean, you can go on LinkedIn and see them. It's all there. You know, but I don't ask things like that because I understand that he wouldn't have the job that he's doing if he couldn't do it. You understand? So,
but do you remember the Swedish pilot that flew for 13 years and also became a captain? You know about him? All over the news in the world?
No, missed that one. Or I might have forgotten about it.
He was a pilot. He was an aircraft maintenance technician.
Yeah.
And he wanted to become a pilot, but didn't have money. So he forged his certificate and applied for and went to the level D sims and sat there and flew. And then he made the exams and became a pilot. And then he flew for 13 years without a certificate.
Wow.
Imagine how many hours he got. So I would not say that just because you have X amount of hours, you know. And the police came and took him on the airport in Spain or Brazil or whatever.
Yeah, but this is why I say go to LinkedIn. His CV is on LinkedIn. You can go check his qualification. You know, I mean,
I have seen them.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, it will be interesting to discuss things with him more in more the details, if you will.
Here you go.
Sure, they definitely give you in-depth details. Don't worry about that.
Absolutely. Stephen here on the stream, Jacob. Stephen McKinnell.
Yes.
He's also got like 100,000 hours. He's also ex-Ryanair instructor, captain, call him what you want. He's also one of those guys that, you know, I've got a huge CV just as a matter of interest, you know. He's another one of them. Good morning, Stephen. Welcome. Nice to have you here. And Kavoke also, he says that pilots don't need to be able to calculate any more than what is necessary for normal ops. You know, that's more engineering. So,
but if you develop a flight model, you have to be able to calculate.
Of course, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. The fact of the matter is, I don't think Twixter would be here if he couldn't do it. You know, he's proven himself over 7 years already, you know, to be a master of the art. You know, and that's why I'm referring you to him. To ask him. Those are the questions you need to ask him, because that's personal stuff, you know. Ask him.
Is he here now?
No, not that I can see. Hold on. No. He might be in the background, he's just not saying, but he always watches my videos, so he'll hear this conversation, you know, sometime.
No.
Yeah, tell you what, it's an interesting position we all find ourselves in. We all want the best and the better, but there's limitations as well we need to take into consideration. X-Plane can only do A, B, C. We're waiting for D, E, and F to come, and yeah, you know, so anyway, let's get back to the stream. Alex, okay, have a great day. So take a lot of photos and videos, please. It would be helpful to share later on. And say hello to everybody for us as well.
To level off.
I don't think we're going to have a much room between yeah, top of climb, top of descent. It's not much room, but anyway.
If I would say anything about the flight model at the moment, it flies really good. The only thing I think could be a little tuned is the deadband. It's a little too pronounced, I think. But you know how it is. It was probably a year since I flew the level D sim, so it's a long time, and you forget. But I don't remember that it was so pronounced.
Mm-hmm. Right, current temperature is now 13, so we have -2 and 1023.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Sebastian.
Morning, sir.
1023. Right, and we have go okay, so we don't need to worry about all the other stories. Let's get the weights. 1.1. 2. 45. Right, so I'm going to do Arnav Zulu over there. And we need to check the chart then. Ooh, we've got LPV. So we can use LPV again.
What's the number, Nika?
I'll give it to you now. The LPV number is 87755.
87755, thank you.
Yes. Right, so we can use LPV. While we are here, we need to set course at 22, and we're going to descend 1,600 for our intercept. Okay, let's quickly have a look at our gradient. Christer, that is just a suggestion. If you read the manual, it actually says to you that it's like a suggestion. It's not a mandatory thing, no, because you're going to fly incorrectly if you follow it slavely. Don't be a slave, you know. You have to think for yourself there. Good morning, Andy. Welcome, welcome. Right, I want to see our glide over here. The glide path for us, what will that be? We're using 3 degrees. Okay, so on the 3 degrees, we're going to use 471. Okay, as our decision height. .71. Right, there we go. And that is all done. Fantastic. You're correct, Stephen. You're 100% correct. My doctor hated me. Because of that very thing, and I didn't let go. I continuously asked him and asked him and asked him. You don't get to tell people that they have a disease, but you can't prove it. I said, you can't do that. Sorry. Right, okay, back to flight. Let's see. I think I've got everything set. Yeah. And LPV is in the box. Oh, I did not set the course settings. 22. In this version of Explain, I don't have auto, so this is just Explain.
When do you think Explain 12.1 will be released?
I have really no idea. Somebody said a few days ago, hopefully here at FS Weekend, we'll get a little bit more information. So I'm hoping the same, huh? I'm hoping to get the information.
Are they joining FS Weekend?
I'm not even close to joining it. But Alex is there. Alex on stream was saying he's just arrived there. And, you know, I told him to take pictures and video and come back with some news. And then obviously, I mean, the guys from Threshold and other news reporting agencies will definitely be there. So, you know, keep your eye on the Threshold folder upstairs here. See, they should publish something.
I have been there one time in my life, like 30 years ago, 10 years ago or something. It was fantastic experience. But basically everyone there is like 70 to 100 years old.
What have I done to you?
Don't take it personal.
We are the best, Uncle John.
Yeah.
I'm 76.
It's a fantastic. Yeah, I didn't want cause I wasn't condescending. I love you guys. I love guys that are older and experienced.
Good save.
You're a creep as well.
Oh, good save. Listen, keep it tidy.
I don't think that was a good save.
Yeah.
Has anybody here been to RAF Cosford show?
No.
Yeah, I did a couple of times.
Yeah. The last one was 2019, unfortunately. We haven't had one since. I don't think it's going to come back, to be honest. I've spoken to quite a few people here in the UK, and I don't think that flight sim show will come back, which is sad because it was a very good one.
Yeah, I agree there. Enjoyed it every time.
There is basically two in the world now then. So FS Expo and FS Weekend.
Yeah,
Sounds like it.
That's about it. And unfortunately for a lot of people here in the UK, it's impossible to go to FS Expo in the States. They wanted me to go one year. I had an invite, but to raise the funds to go, it was like impossible. You had to try and find sponsorship deals and all the rest of it. It was just no way.
And like 1,000, 2,000 euros or something.
Yeah, I think it worked out a little bit more than that for me the year that because once again that was before the pandemic, and because I think it was in Vegas, so it wasn't just a case of going across the pond. You had to get across the US then, and then accommodation and all sorts of things. It was ridiculous.
But that's a thing you should do once in your life.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've done so much traveling around the world, on vacations and what have you. But I've seen videos of FS Expo in the States, and I'll be honest, I don't think it's not what I expect a flight sim show to be.
When I was at FS Weekend, it was mostly about cockpit building, I think, and a lot of people sitting and flying and not being part of the show at all. They just sat there with their cockpits and flew fighter simulations or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the RAF Cosford was more community based. Certainly, you had people like Sky Systems there with their full Airbus setup, but people could use that, and you had people like Orbex, Microsoft, Laminar, and then more UK based providers. And so it was a lot more community based, and they had seminars which were really open not just to major contributors and developers, but also community based seminars as well. Really quite good. But like I say, it's a shame. I don't think it'll come back, and that's really sad, especially for the UK, because there's quite a large community here.
Ready for descent procedure.
Oh, I thought that Germany was the big hub for flight simmers in Europe.
No, I wouldn't say that it was the biggest. I would say that across Europe, you've got like UK, Germany, maybe Central Europe a little bit, but certainly the UK and Germany together. I mean, France is pretty small. And I'm talking from a VATSIM point of view, because I've been a VATSIM staff member, so I kind of see the numbers across Europe.
Someone told me that VATSIM had grown significantly the latest year in Europe. I don't know. Is that true?
It's huge, absolutely huge. There are some people talking about, they wish they could go to pre-pandemic numbers, because obviously during the pandemic everybody was flying because they weren't in work, and the numbers increased then. But since Microsoft Flight Simulator has become a VATSIM partner, it's just grown incredibly, and the numbers are absolutely phenomenal. Every day the numbers of pilots flying online is absolutely phenomenal. But by the same token, with Microsoft Flight Simulator, there has come a lot of problems. in so much as that you have pilots who are completely and utterly devoid of any knowledge of how to fly an aircraft online.
Cannot they be just kicked off by the controller?
No, controllers don't have the power to kick people. It's only supervisors who can, disconnect somebody. So yeah, the supervisors online. I mean, I'm a supervisor on VATSIM, and the role of the supervisor on VATSIM is to help. That's our primary role is to help members, to help controllers who may be having problems with members or whatever. But our primary role is help. I found certainly in the last year, that every time I go on to do any supervising, all I'm doing is responding to wallops, which are Microsoft Flight Simulator users who haven't got a clue. They'll load up on a runway, they'll land on the opposing runway to other aircraft. They're terrible. Mostly because Microsoft Flight Simulator is aimed at the Xbox market, and so you get the Xbox users coming on first, and they think, oh, we can fly, and they don't talk to ATC, they ignore contact me's, everything. It's absolutely shocking, but the numbers have grown exponentially. It's just phenomenal.
My experience when I've been with my friend and went to on VATSIM, I feel the professionalism is like real. It's like real.
Oh yeah, the one thing that VATSIM prides itself on, and I'm sure, and the same for IVAO. I used to fly on IVAO as well, and the professionalism on VATSIM is something they do pride themselves on. Controllers go through a lot of training. You start off on ground, you go to tower, then radar, then en route, and that can take quite a long time. It's not an easy process. I'm what is known as a C1 controller, so I can control at every level, from ground all the way up to en route, and it is a long process.
One of the things that's true on both networks also is it depends on the area you're flying and the people involved in that area. You get good areas, you get bad areas, and it's just something that happens.
Yeah, true. In terms of VATSIM coverage in Europe, France, you very rarely see controllers in France. There's not a huge VATSIM presence in France for some reason. People fly through it, but they tend to be on strike a lot, like in real world, I think. Okay, so I've just gone onto VATSpy to have a quick look. There are 999 connections at the moment, 867 pilots flying, there's 50 controllers on, and there's 38 observers. So, for what time is it? 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, nearly 1,000 connections.
How many on IVAO? I can't
IVAO.
say
IVAO. Yeah. It's 471 currently. And the peak in the last 24 hours is 848.
I can find that data. Stand by.
It's on WebEye. You could just read it from WebEye. I've got it on WebEye.
Yeah, WebEye only does IVAO, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the last 24 hours for VATSIM.
Right, there's the IMAO stuff there. It says 848 and it's dropped now to 469. So there's the stats.
Buenos dias, Nico.
Hello, good morning.
How's everybody doing?
All good in you?
Excellent.
Morning, Andre. I was thinking about you. And guess what Nico forgot? Nico clean forgot to set his minimums. Now the aircraft's flying straight. There we go.
Uncle John, how's it going?
Yeah, very well, thank you. You?
Excellent. Just wanted to check in. Yeah.
Nick, you don't want to try to do a level change and see if you can hunt up the VNAV profile without using speed brakes?
No, because I'm already, I was 4,000 too high. There's not enough time to try and hunt it now, eh? Otherwise, I'm going to have to go and make some turns or something. Right now, I'm just pulling speed brakes to get down as fast as possible.
If you increase speed to VMO?
Yeah, I can do that. VMO, I can do that.
Will go faster. The induced air resistance will increase.
I know. But I'm also trying to type in the background.
It wouldn't be induced drag, it would be parasitic drag, my friend.
Yeah.
So, sorry, what did you say?
It would not be induced drag. If you increase the speed, it would be parasitic drag.
Say the name again. The what drag?
You have
parasitic drag.
Parasitic drag
versus induced drag.
Okay, so gotcha.
When you speed up the aircraft, when you're above your VG, meaning your best flight speed for the aircraft, you're increasing parasitic drag. When you're below VG, you're actually increasing induced drag. So when you have flaps and all that, landing gear, it's induced drag. Right now, if you were to speed up, you'd be increasing parasitic drag.
Gotcha.
I'm 100% you're correct, but you know how I am. I will investigate it.
No, I challenge you to do so. Right? Don't take my word for it. Look it up. It's very interesting, right? Parasitic versus induced drag.
Lift induced drag.
Parasitic versus. There you go. Yes.
There's too many drags.
Yes.
There's profile drag, form drag, in friction drag. Too many drags.
Skin form drag, spin friction drag. There's so many. When you become a CFI, it's going to be, you're going to learn all of them.
CFI?
I will start the program next quarter, but I've started the program. Yes, to become my CFI.
What is CFI?
Certified Flight Instructor.
Ah, I see.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I when I started my PPL, I had a very interesting teacher. He was from Greece, I think, Andres Papasouglu or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to nail the what you say to the ATC. What do you call that? What do you call when you talk to ATC?
Are you talking about the phraseology and working on the radio?
Yeah, phraseology. Yeah. I tried to nail the phraseology, so I studied before the first two flights or the third, and I tried to really nail everything. So I was so trained on the few sentences I was going to say. So the controller probably thought that I really knew what I was doing. So when I started my conversation, I probably sounded really confident. So of course she answered me very, very fast and very confident, and everything went to hell. I couldn't answer a word then after.
That's a funny story.
I will say that Rome is not built in the night, right? It's going to take some time for you to really get the phraseology down. Most students, even after 20, 30 hours, do not have the radio work all squared away. So, you know, that's why I always tell people, you know, if you can get into flight simulation, there is a lot of added value to it, because for you it costs nothing, right? You pay the initial price, you pay X-Plane, you know, you get it on your computer, and then after that, it's you can practice as much as you want.
Yeah, if you get the correct ATC guy to practice with. We had a couple of real-world ATC guys also working here in South Africa on the flight sim side, and it was always fun talking to them, because they have a couple of I don't know how to call it really, but they have a couple of unique, if it were normal spoken language, I would have said slang terms, but obviously this is now ATC talk. Now, I have a couple of unique things they throw in there that we don't hear as flight sim pilots. You don't get to talk to them that way. And one of the things that the guys used to do here in the real world is when you're still on approach, you know, you already given instruction or request instruction of which stand to go to, you know, and things like that. You don't get that on VATSIM until you get onto the ground, kind of a thing. And it's interesting, just small little things, how confusing it could be. And if those guys talk too fast, then you don't have a clue what they're asking you, you know.
You know, speaking of speaking very fast, I chuckled to that because, you know, when I was in instrument training, you know, probably about 2 years ago, when I was getting my instrument rating, you know, when I used to talk to Seattle clearance delivery, you know, Seattle SeaTac, you know, under the Bravo there, they spoke very quickly because, you know, they always had airlines to deal with. So it's like, you know, okay, if you're going to pick up clearance delivery from SeaTac, you better pick it up really, really quick, because you know, to take off out of an uncontrolled airport, you better pick it up quick. And if you say it again, you know, if you ask for say it again, they're going to be very annoyed with you. It's either you get it right the first time, or you know, pray to God that they're not mad at you the second time around.
Yeah.
When I first started training on VATSIM, I got a copy of Cap 413, and I had it open at Chapter 11, which Chapter 11 in Cap 413 is literally a flight from the gate to taking off, and I learnt it parrot fashion. Literally, I would have it in front of me, and that's what I would do. And the first time I went for a flight at Cardiff Airport in a Cessna, and the guy said, "Oh," he said, "so you know radio." He said, "Do you know anything about ATC?" And I said, "Oh yeah." And he said, "Oh well, call it tower." And I did it, and I went through it all and everything. And he said, you know, we came back. He landed the aircraft because it was my first flight, and he said, "So have you flown before?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, how do you know ATC? Because you was really good and really confident." And I said, "Well, I used to do public speaking, so I'm not afraid to talk to anybody." And I said, "And I use VATSIM." And he said, "Oh, what's that?" So I was explaining VATSIM and Microsoft Flight Simulator, because that's what I was on then. I was on FSX. And he said, "My God," he said, "that is brilliant." He said, "I'll have to have a look at that." And I found it, for me, as someone who'd been flying Flight Simulator for a number of years then, to come across a pilot instructor who didn't even have any concept of flight simulation at all, I found that really strange.
Wycliffe, sorry.
Go ahead, Nico.
Yeah, in South Africa, when I started my flight training and stuff at the airport, if you mentioned that you were into flight simming, they would ridicule the hell out of you. They would harass you. They would treat you like crap. Yeah. They were not interested in flight simming. And it was like a swear word. "Oh, you're a flight simmer. Oh, here's the flight simmer guy."
Totally right.
You know, and
100% right. Yeah.
And I tell you what, I obviously knew the PMDG very well at that point in time, the 738 and all. And one day I was giving some demonstration on my PC. I actually put it in the car, I took it to this place, and I actually showed some of the people, and I did not know there was a 738 pilot sitting in the group of guys I was talking to. And afterwards he said to me, "If I didn't see this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed you."
I wouldn't have believed that you could know what you know. And from there on, I started making little inroads. It still wasn't, conquered. The problem was still there. But a lot of guys all of a sudden realized, hang on, there's something more to this. And then what happened was some of my other pilot buddies would come to my house and they would fly. And this was back in the days of FS9. And we would fly here, and they would literally lie to their wives, where they are and what they are doing, because they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. They're sitting here and they're saying, we didn't know this. And I go, yeah, it's because this. I don't know what the real English word is, but maybe resentment, bias, whatever you want to call it. The people hated anybody who said anything.
By any chance?
Sorry?
Snobbery?
Probably, very, very, very possible. And it was one of those things I just had to deal with.
Level 100. Landing
I mean, look at this, Nico, right? You have to understand, too, we have a tool that wasn't available to them at their time or their generation that we're able to take advantage of.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, when I did my instrument training, probably my hour 5 or 60 that the VA was going to pay for, for the Veterans Affairs for instrument training. They said, we'll pay up to 60 hours. Okay, I plan to utilize the full 60 hours. And it was 60 hours dual CFI, right? So you had a CFII the entire time. By the 5th hour, he's like, we're going to shoot an approach. And again, I didn't mention I did flight simming or anything, right? Because again, it was deemed taboo, right? So he said, okay, how would you brief in a plate? And I briefed the plate. He just kind of sat there and slumped in his chair, and he looked over at me. He's like, you've done this before. And I was like, maybe. and then so we shoot the approach back into the airport, and he goes, you know what? By hour 5, you shot that to Airman Certification Standards. So hour 5 in a 172, I shot the approach into our airfield, 4-degree glide slope down to minimums, under the hood to minimums, no errors. And he said to me, he's like, okay, you're going to have a really easy time doing instrument training. I said, well, so I always tell people, it's like, is there added value to getting a home desktop simulator? I said, absolutely. I said, look, if you can save even an hour's worth of flight training, you've already paid for the sim. Everything else is just going to be, it's just going to be surplus. So, I did my instrument training in about the minimum, which is, for the USA, you have to have 40 hours. So I did mine in 40 hours right at the top, and the DP said procedurally very good. The only thing you're not going to get from the sim is the regulations, right? Loss comps procedures. How do you select an alternative? What are the rules for selecting an alternative? But as far as flying the airport, knowing how to descend and knowing what the instruments are telling you, if you can build that structure very early on, you're going to be set up for success. However, the only difference I would say in the simulator, don't learn bad habits. Do not start off in the Zibo. Do not start off in the Zibo. Start off in the boring G1000, the 6-pack 172. Get used to that. Get halfway through instrument training, get proficient with that instrument scan, and then move into the G1000s, because statistically we've had a lot of people that started off G1000s as private pilots come in instrument training, they go to the 6-pack and they actually fail their instrument check rides.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's easier for you to go from a 6-pack to a G1000 than vice versa. So I always tell people, use the sim, however, don't get used to getting into bad habits. Go ahead, John. Sorry to interrupt.
It's very hard to get the 6-pack.
Hold on. Uncle John wants to talk. Give us time, Uncle John.
I got my license in 29 hours.
Your PPL.
And that was mainly down to flight simming before I did my training.
Yeah, that's for the PPL. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not permitted for us to get it in that early of a time. We had to have 40 hours minimum.
Yeah.
So, if I could get it earlier than that, I would have. But regulation-wise, 40 hours minimum.
Yeah, and Stephen is correct there on the stream, Stephen. Christopher and Ryan, just to quickly answer you guys as well. I started in 1986 with the ZX Spectrum. I can't imagine that this is the flight simulator today. I mean, we had green for the ground or brown for the ground, depending on where you flew, and blue for the sky, and a bunch of little lines. I mean, it was crazy, but we loved it. So great changes, and Christopher, yeah, I'm glad some of the pilots today are really nice. I remember my captain I used to fly jump seat with as well. He's currently now in the US. He's moved after Mango closed down, and I mean, we had great fun together as well. Great guy. Even the first officer, his name I really can't even remember now, because I dealt more with the captain guy. So the guys were really, you know, they changed after a while, but the inroads in the early 2000s, it was tough. So anyway, Stephen, the taboo story, yeah, the men's egos, just nonsense. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. The VOR and NDP navigation and stuff. I mean, yeah, that was lovely to do on the simulator. I did learn all those things.
Uncle John.
Go, Tommy.
Right side now.
What I also like is the GLS approaches, right? Something that we typically don't see in the US very much, that they really have simulated in X-Plane 12. Well, and even later versions of 11, you know, the GLS approaches, I was like, you know what, this is something that we can't even do on the simulator at our schoolhouse that we use for currency, you know, for me to log my instrument approaches. So X-Plane 12 has really come a long way for, you know, $60 to $80 simulator. I mean, you really are getting a powerful tool. And I will say with Auto Ortho, Nico, the visuals actually look better than what we get in our FAA certified sim.
It's all the same.
But not for so long. Have you heard about CAE have collaborate or starting a collaboration with Unreal Engine?
A couple of guys are talking about that, even P3D. So we'll have to see what happens about the Unreal Engine. Anyway, gentlemen, I need to land quickly. All right, I just want to mention to the guys here. Give me a second.
Tower's on. Tower is on.
Ah, come on. No, that's not fair.
Radio altimeter.
All right, stereo cockpit.
Tower, good morning. Skymatix 001 on finals runway 02. Thank you so much. We'll continue approach Skymatix 001. I've just muted Discord, guys. Sorry about that, but they can continue chatting away there while I quickly do my thing. And there's our LPV kicking in. Very nicely done. Thank you, sir. 02 clear to launch Skymatix 001. There you go, Christer.
Ready for landing checklist.
Yeah, we've got 3 greens. We've got the flaps 30 and auto brake is set, cabin is secure.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Bird Channel 27.
Approaching 02.
Right, guys, for those of you struggling with the throttle, have a look here. You see it's still white. Until I move it and I actually match the line, then it goes blue. Now I've got control. There was a query in the week about that. Please make sure that you have control of your throttles before you land. Otherwise, it will not slow down and you're going to run off the runway. Okay, so please be aware of that. That's a setting in the EFB that you can switch on or off depending on your style of flying. I prefer having it on and just remembering to just go quickly pick up the line. And once it goes blue, I'm okay. I don't have issues.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked. Auto brake in use.
Thank you so much.
60 knots. Yeah. Great landing.
2,000 feet
You are
remaining.
professional.
Thank you, guys. Right, brakes. Auto brakes is off. We're okay. Let's get off this runway. Make room for the next pilot to come in. Here's the line. Hey, Steve. And Skymatix 001 runway vacated. No, it's not talking on the radio. Skymatix 001 runway vacated.
001, you can taxi to the of your preference via Tango 1 and Lima 2.
Stand of choice Tango 1, Lima 2, Skymatix 001. Tango and Lima 2. Alright, first one on the right then. After landing procedure. Thanks, Wycliffe.
Stabilize.
Compare how it went.
Alright, I'm back, guys.
Well done on the landing there, Nico.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a lovely one.
Yeah, just after the 1,000 footers, I estimate 1,200 feet down the runway. Good landing.
Yeah.
After landing procedure complete.
Right, it's time for me to get some eggs and toast. Egg on
Enjoy.
toast.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I some sausage. I think I'll probably do a full English this morning. I do that about once a week.
Enjoy.
Don't forget the hollandaise sauce.
Well, no, I would only have hollandaise if I was having poached eggs. But this morning
That's fair enough.
It's going to be fried egg on toast with some bacon and baked beans, I think, sausage.
I'm hungry. Stop it.
Stop it. John's gonna join you.
That went over my head.
My uncle in London, God bless him, he's dead now, but I remember as a child going down to London around the age of 8, and he would have fried egg on toast with strawberry jam, which is the weirdest combination ever, but tasted delicious.
You know, when I was out in Missouri, we used to have you know, it was literally, you know, biscuits and gravy, but in Missouri they called it bleep on a shingle, you know, and I won't say the word because John would get very angry at me.
Wow.
But that's the actual, you know, that's the actual name of it in the Midwest was bleep on a shingle, and I won't say the word.
Nah, better not.
You all guys sound like you are native English, so some things go really over my head.
Well, you know, I'm in the U.S. right now, over in Seattle, so I'm actually up pretty late to see the, you know, I normally don't stay up this late, but you know, for these guys that run the Zibomod and the whole Skymatix team, it's worth it. So it's a good crowd.
Thank you so much. I'm not entirely sure how this guy wants me to park, so I'm going to use that line over there and just do it.
You can't use common sense there, Nico. That's not allowed.
Yeah. I'm sure. Okay.
It's typical
a nice
typical
little
ground
guy
man
over there.
Okay, well, that guy's happy, so I must be happy too. And
I kind of like the job, you know.
Yeah. There's someone coming in now.
Is it true that Seattle is a rainy, cold city? I've never been that side of the States.
100%. You are 100% correct. It is cold, wet, rainy, and miserable.
That whole year?
I would say at least 80% of the year it rains.
Wow.
Now, if you go to the Olympic Peninsula, where you get over the Cascade Mountain Range, you're expected to get about 34 feet of rain per year.
Wow.
My God.
That's a lot.
Yes,
it's
so
the Boone City. That's the important thing.
Yeah, they call it the Emerald City. Washington is a very interesting state because you have everything. You have a desert, valleys, oceans, lakes. You have everything. So to the west, before you get to Seattle, you have the Olympic Mountain Range. And then when you get over to Seattle, you have the valleys and you have the Sound. And then when you get to the east of that, you have the Olympic Mountain Range. And then to the east of that, you have the desert. So you have every kind of land or weather phenomenon that occurs in Washington State, desert, valleys, you know. Mount Baker, right, which is located in Washington, gets about 400 feet of snow per year. And it's in Washington State, you know. So you get everything. You get from rain to snow to sunshine in the east, in the Columbia Valley. Beautiful wine country. And anything you think of, everything in between.
You say that it rains here in the UK, but by comparison, I think Seattle's got us well beat.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've been over to the UK. I've been all over. So, you know, I've been to Spain, Romania, Germany, Turkey, Kuwait, France. You know, it's all over.
Well, Sweden.
I would love to go to Sweden now. You know, that'd be kind of fun. Or
Gothenburg is very rainy too.
Yeah.
Ready for shutdown procedure.
Right, I gotta go and get my breakfast. I'll speak to you guys soon. Nico, nice flight, brilliant landing.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
Das Svidania.
Das Svidania, cheerio.
Mooi bly, tot ziens.
Bună dimineața.
Okay, so now it's silent. This is how it went when the first time I was going to talk to the tower. So I said I had like 10 years of experience as a glider pilot, and you don't talk much when you're a glider pilot. You basically not talk much. And you talk in Swedish. So and you say you're on the downwind and then you land. It's not a controlled airport and so on and so on. But then when I was going to PPL, I trained, and this is what I said. So,
Continue approach.
Ljungby Tower, Sierra Golf Uniform Papa. Golf Papa Uniform, go ahead. Ljungby Tower, Sierra Golf Papa Uniform, radio check. Golf Papa Uniform, Ljungby Tower, read you 5. Ljungby Tower, Sierra Golf Papa Uniform, ready for taxi. And then it came. Then they started to tell me things. So, Golf Uniform Papa, taxi via Juliet, backtrack, runway 29er, line up, runway 29er, left, weather, Q, blah, 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 QNH 1013, temperature, blah, 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 say your intentions. And then I just froze.
Shame.
I didn't know what my intentions was.
Man, I envy your guys' radio communication. They keep it much more simple than for us. You know, in the U.S., they get very complicated. I wish they kept it that simple. By the way, add me on Discord. I'd love to talk to you more about the flying journey. I think I'd have a lot of fun talking to you. So definitely add me, and then we'll continue that journey.
You talk to me or?
I presume yes.
Yeah. Yes. Talking to you.
How do I do that? Sorry for that.
Yeah, you can click on my name there, and you can click. You can add it.
Add friend. Right click, add friend.
Yeah, right click on my name and then click add friend, and then I'll accept it.
All right, Piotr, you're probably gone already. Cheers. Thank you for joining us. Everybody else leaving, thank you for joining us. I'm just going to sit here and wait a minute or two just to see how many other guys come in. I think we've got 3 pilots left that need to come in, so they're all somewhere in the air. There's one over there, and then there should be one over here as well. Somewhere, he might be a little bit too far to actually see.
Sorry about that, Nico. I didn't mean to hijack your little stream there. So
no, it's okay. Next time I'll send you an invoice. It's fine.
Okay, that's fair enough.
There's one almost at 3 o'clock to the airport.
Yeah.
One at 4 o'clock and one at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I saw the first 2, Uncle John. I see them on WebEye, but I can only ID it visually what it will show me. The other one's a bit far. I don't even know where this one is. Oh, there he is.
Okay, I accepted the friend request there.
Thank you. Nico, did you notice the sounds when the other 73 was coming in? It was almost like it sounded like Doppler effect or something. Really nice sound. It was different sound when it came and different sound when it was behind you. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I noticed that.
My sound here is usually turned down a lot because my son's playing his games next to me, and he hates it when I am too loud here on my side of the room, you know. So I just keep it low down. So I don't hear most of the effects. Bye-bye, Christer.
Skymatix VA Flight, Skymatix 533 at parking position. Thank you for the service. Have a nice day and bye-bye.
Skymatix 05049, wind is 640 degrees and 03 knots, variable from 290 to 020 degrees, runway 02 clear to land, brake, Skymatix 533, no worries, contact Unicom in 122.8. Bye-bye.
Jerez, Tower Skymatix VA Flight, clear to land, runway 02 Skymatix VA Flight.
And Skymatix 533 switch to uniform.
Captain, passengers are asking for a cozier temperature.
Good morning, town. Skymatix VA Flight. Is established on wireless, runway 02 with information data.
6008, Delta is correct. Continue approach to runway 02.
Continue approach runway 02, Skymatix VA right.
Jerez Tower, Skymatix VA 9, runway indication, Skymatix VA 9.
6049er taxi to the town of your choice via Tango and Lima. 2.
Taxi via Tango Lima to gate of my choice, Skymatix VA 9.
Second one on the approach, Nico.
I still only have one visual. No idea where the other guy is.
The other one's at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, as he comes closer, we'll see him.
340 degrees and 03 knots, variable from 290 to 020 degrees, runway 02, clear to land.
Runway 02, clear to land on Skymatix VA right.
Anthony, onthou jou landing gear.
Thank you.
By the way, for your information, while we're waiting, I see WSK Design has released Washington DC and City, the City and KDCA for X-Plane 12 now, guys. If you're interested, that's a really, really cool airport to have to do the river approach with.
Who's released that?
WSK Design. You can get it through Orbix. It's cheaper through Orbix than it is through the Org Store. The Org Store has got it on special, but they're still more expensive than Orbix.
Okay.
Captain, passengers are asking for a cozier temperature. Last one's turned on to finals, Nico.
Okay.
6459, continue approach of runway 02.
Continue approach Skymatix VA.
There he comes.
Tower, Skymatix 08 is clear of active.
Skymatix 008, taxi to the stand of your preference via Tango and Lima 2.
Tango, Lima 2 to stand of choice.
And then we have Lori as well.
Six 459.
Is he actually active now again?
0 degrees at 03 knots.
Yeah, I can see him. Bye-bye.
020 degrees, runway 20, 002.
And who is 465? Arthur. He's also coming in. I'm not sure I can wait for everybody. We'll try. We'll try.
Don't wait for me. I've just come back.
Okay. You had a good meeting?
Yeah, it was local formation of a local CPF.
Okay.
SAPs were there, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Elected new committee.
Have we got a gun round on us? No gear down yet?
No idea.
Gear's down there. I think he flew that in manually.
Great.
Captain, passengers are asking for a cozier temperature.
Skymatix 549, taxi to the stand of your choice via Tango 1.
Okay. Right. Ladies and gentlemen on the stream, thank you for watching. I hope you have a brilliant Saturday and weekend. We'll be back tomorrow morning, God willing, for the next flight. We'll leave here and we'll go to the next destination, wherever that is. I've put some detail in Discord for you already, Uncle John. I just haven't physically built the actual flight plan yet because it's a day early, but there you go. So you are all welcome tomorrow morning, 800 Zulu. Join us again. Thank you so much for your support. We'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nico.
Thanks, Nico.